Welcome everyone to the service on behalf of Monton Unitarian Church this morning for Sunday the 25th of July. Those of us who are going to be gathering in church are going to be celebrating this Sunday with the singing of hymns, which I know that many of us have been waiting for a long time now. That's a little bit difficult for those of you at home. So my invitation to you is to pause this video right now and line up 5 or 6 of your most favourite pieces of music, and during the service, in between a couple of readings or after a prayer, or at any point that feels right to you, pause me and let the music play and enjoy it. And if it's a song, sing along full blast. But for now, let's start by lighting our chalice candle. And some adapted words by Laura Horton Ludwig. How shall we sing our song of gratitude? For what shall we give thanks? For this moment, for friends near and far, for our breath, for love, for courage and clarity, for strength, for delight, for laughter, for beauty, for the tables round which we gather, for the food we enjoy with friends, seasoned with love and memory, for the sun and moon and stars in the sky, for the trees who have seen so much and still stand proud, stretching themselves to the sky, for the bright voices of children, for the wisdom of elders, for actions that bless the world, for hard work that makes a difference, for music and art and celebration, for generosity, for compassion, for endurance, for joy, for hope. For all these things, we give thanks as we worship together. As I said at the start, in this service, those in church will be rediscovering our voices. We will probably be fairly croaky, and maybe a little bit discordant. But as it says at the start of Psalm 100, make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Doesn't say it has to be in tune. So let us celebrate music and singing and being together in whatever place and in whatever way we can. So let's join together in a time of prayer. And this was written by Lynn Cox. Spirit of life and love, who draws us together in a web of holy relationships, make your presence known with us and in us and among us. Remind us that we are not alone in history, but ignite us with the courage of the living tradition. Remind us that we are not alone in entering the future, but anchor us with patience and perseverance. Remind us that we are not alone in our times of grief and pain, but comfort us with your Spirit, manifest in human hands and voices. Remind us that we are not alone in joy and wonder, but inspire us to honour and extend the beauty we find in this world. Source of stars and planets and water and land, open our hearts to all of our neighbours. Open our souls to a renewal of faith. Open our hands to join together in the work ahead. Divine music of the universe, let our hearts beat in diverse and harmonious rhythms, cooperating in an everlasting dance of love. May we move with the rhythms of peace. May we move with the rhythms of compassion. And may we move with the rhythms of justice. Amen. A story all about sound. This is called Star Sound, and it's by Yevgenia Margolis. Imagine a world that is silent. A world where the dogs don't bark and the birds don't tweet. Imagine a place where your emotions are muffled by the world around you and your voice is stolen. Well, this was the world before the stars arrived. And then one clear and starry night, the silence was broken at last. There was no huge crash or bang, only a little tinkle, a splash, and a little cry. A tiny star who had been used to twinkling merrily and singing in the heavens had fallen from the Milky Way to Earth. She landed in a cold stream and cried out in surprise. In amazement, she heard her own voice on its own for the first time, and it was so loud and clear that she suddenly realised that there was in fact no other sound at all. She shook the water out of her sparkles so that she might hear better. She listened closely. Sure enough, not another sound to be heard. Birds sat silently in their trees. Dogs chased rabbits without so much as a growl. And children played without laughter. The star was absolutely astonished. And then she became very sad. The excitement of hearing her own voice on its own wore off, because in the sky she'd been used to so much splendid music flowing about her. All during her long journey back to the Milky Way, the star thought about what she had seen, but not heard. And the more she thought, the sadder she became. When she arrived home, she told the other stars about her odd experience. And they were all very curious about the strange, silent planet, and wanted to go and see for themselves. So it was decided that one by one they would pay it a visit. Well, the first to fall was a very giddy star, and she landed with a twitter in the trees among the birds. And when they saw her, they were so surprised that they twittered back. And then they twattered, and a few tried to warble, and finally they began to sing. A very blustery, noisy star crashed into the midst of a pack of dogs, and they started to bark in surprise, and a few silly ones added a growl or two. A stuttering star flopped among the chickens, and the poor things caught his stutter very badly. To this day they can't finish a word, but only say "whoop, whoop, whoop." A set of twin stars tumbled downwards, endlessly repeating each other's words. They brought the echo to Earth. And so the stars continued to fall. The small ones floated to Earth, bringing the peaceful sounds, with the rustle of leaves, the whisper of grasses, and the sighs of the summer sea. Great stars raced down and brought with them huge noises, the roar of lions and tigers, the crash of thunder and lightning. Pale stars inspired gentle sounds. A cat's purr, a mother's lullaby, the murmur of streams and chirrup of crickets. Thus it was that for each star fallen from the sky, one more sound came to Earth. The once silent planet was now filled with murmurs and roars and whispers and shouts, and a wind played soft harmonies in the trees. And as each star returned to the Milky Way, she told the little first star how magnificent the Earth's music was becoming. And as the little star became more and more curious, she decided that she must return to Earth to hear for herself. So down she flew, bringing with her the little cry she had the first time. And this she gave to the babies of the world. And so, with an infant's first cry, the Earth's orchestra was completed, and the stars could rest at home in the Milky Way. It's a beautiful story. And it's followed by a rather beautiful reading by René Ruchotske called We Are the Music. Our first breath is followed by our first song, lusty, loud and primal. A solo that announces to the world, I have arrived. We are the music. As toddlers, hearing our first reggae beat, we let our spines and hips bend and sway in response, as natural as the beat of our hearts. We are the music. The drone of the bass notes of the church organ, a vibration in our chests. Tense muscles relax, the breath deepens. We are the music. As we push the air from our bellies out through the chest and throat, our changing expressions shape the sound. We are the music. As we sing together, voices blend to create a harmony. Each voice enriched by its connection to the next. We are the music. So let's join together again in a time of prayer. This is by Joel Chiskin. The ancient Greek philosopher Pythagoras taught that the universe was composed entirely of numbers, and numbers corresponded to music. So the entire universe, all of reality, including us, was composed of numbers and music. The 7 planets of the ancient world each resonated a frequency outward into the universe. There's a 19th century depiction of that Musica Universalis, or harmony of the spheres. Each planet a different note on the musical scale. Their music was not something that we heard audibly, but their cosmic vibration, their resonance, could impact us, as all music could. Pythagoreans believed that music purified and nourished our souls, keeping us spiritually healthy, in the same way exercise and nutrition does for our body. And so I invite you now to contemplate. What music do you need to purify or nourish your soul right now? Do you need a peppy tune to make you smile and dance? Perhaps you need a love ballad to help you celebrate a love in your life. Or do you need a sad song to speak to you about a loss in your life? Maybe you need a dirge to help you grieve and mourn a tragedy Or do you need a happy song to help you celebrate an aspect of your life? Do you need a cacophony of noise to rattle you into a new awareness? Perhaps you need a calm lullaby to bring you peace and serenity. For a moment now, I invite you to consider the song that is speaking to you at this moment. Imagine that it is resonating within you and resonating outward in all directions, bringing your resonance to those next to you and the people next to them, and outward until it fills your town, connecting you with everyone else, communicating where you are today. Take a moment now. Pause this video and let your music play in your heart, in your mind, or on whatever speakers you have to hand. Share your music with the world now. May the sharing of our music bring harmony to ourselves and everyone within our orbit. Amen. Well, I know this doesn't go for every piece of music, but it will go for a lot of them. Our next reading is by Diane McConville Weiss, and it's called The Dance of Life. On a warm spring evening, people pour into an old church hall. Musicians warm up their mellow sounds in the key of anticipation. The gathering crowd is diverse, with an age range spanning 50 years or so, wearing clothing that is colourful, comfortable and creative. After all, we have come dressed for action. We have come to contra-dance. Like square dancing, but in two opposing lines, contra-dancing might well be called a contact sport or full catastrophe exercise. Hearts pounding, bumping into one another, we sweat buckets, faces flushed. Feet are in harm's way as we swing up and down the line, dancing with everyone from expert to neophyte. You take your chances when you walk in the door. Worse than the risk of physical injury is the chance that no one will ask you to dance. But after you've been whirled this way and that and your knees start to ache, you may long to sit the next one out. It can be feast or famine at the dance. Too much in the thick of things, breathless, or too much on the sidelines, wistful. For the most part, though, you experience sheer exhilaration. The swirling movement, the smiles of connection, the burst of energy from your partners. We're all keeping time to the music, all doing the steps as best we can, laughing at our mistakes, guiding the newcomers, being gentle with those who wear knee splints or wrist wraps. You say a silent thank you when you dance with the boy who survived a liver transplant, and please as you pass the bald woman in the headscarf. We are all here together, reaching out, keeping the rhythm, letting the music lead us forward and back and forward and back. We hold hands and let go, circling first one way, then the other, moving to the centre and out to our places again. It is joyful, pulsing, primal, inherently human. It is the dance we love. And though we sometimes leave with sore feet, we always leave with full hearts. And a second reading now by the Reverend Cliff Reed in praise of music. We give thanks today for music and musicians, for songs and singers, for orchestras and bands of every kind, and for the instruments they play. We give thanks for composers and conductors, for choirs and quartets, dances and danseurs, and all the concertos, symphonies, operas and musicals that move us, entertain us, or raise our spirits to the heights. We give thanks for organs and organists, hymns and hymn writers, bells and bell ringers, cantors and muezzins, all whose hands and voices call us to prayer and accompany our worship. We give thanks for the diversity of genres in which music is expressed. Classical, jazz and rock and roll, reggae, rap and all the rest. Everything pleasing somebody, nothing pleasing everybody. May we learn to tolerate each other's tastes. The lives of most of us would be the poorer without music. So let's give thanks for it, and for the multifarious ways to listen to it. Let's praise with harp, trumpet, guitar and drums. Let's sing new songs, and the old ones too. Let's play as skillfully as we can, with as loud a noise as neighbourliness allows. And may harmony replace discord the world over. Amen. I hope you've taken some time to enjoy some of your favourite music. If you haven't, or if you want to continue, then when my voice goes quiet, put the music back on and keep it going as long as you can. But for now, a benediction. This is by Dawn Cooley. Let us go out into the world singing. Let us go out into the world singing songs that proclaim liberty, songs that turn ashes into garlands, songs that bind up the afflicted and those who mourn, songs that like oaks have roots that go deep and stand strong. Let us go out into the world singing. We know these songs. They vibrate through time in our very souls. They are the songs that give us life. They are the songs that give us meaning. They are the songs that give us purpose. Now it is our turn to take these life-giving songs out into the world. Let us go now, singing these songs with voices deep and strong, and may the world join us in praise and in celebration and in love. Amen. Thank you so much for joining with me today. And I won't keep you any longer, but let you go and join in with your music for as long as you can. But I'll see you again, same time next week. You in your home, me in mine, together in our hearts. Until then, stay safe, stay strong, and know that you are loved.